first video is going to be how to get started in reenactment. It's going to be a bunch of blanket statements for sort of just general reenactment, not just Viking. So I think what I will do is sort of tell you how I got started. It was kind of by accident. I was interested in Vikings for quite a while, and I'd been to I knew of reenactment because I'd been to a few things like Civil War reenactments and such things, and also I had been to Renaissance festivals and stuff like that, and I had an interest in it. I just didn't know how to get started. Then my girlfriend introduced me to a company that she had heard about when she was, I think, in high school, and just didn't know where it was. And then the opportunity came that it was actually located in the city that we were living in. So we got in contact with them, and then one of the members of that group, which wasn't a period that any of the three of us were really hugely happy doing. We enjoy it; it's fun, and it's almost the period that we really like because they do Norman, and that's just a little bit past the period that I'm really passionate about, but I still enjoy it. And so anyway, that guy had heard through people that he'd met at a metal show that the group that I'm currently a member of had an open training practice that weekend. So he invited us, and we went along with him, and the rest is history. So that sort of just fell into my lap that way. But if you are actively looking for it, you might have a little bit of an easier time. It still might not be the easiest thing to do, but it's there. So I think the first thing that you do is you sort of nail down what general time period you're looking at, whether you want to do World War II, World War One, American Civil War, English Civil War, Crusades, or something, or Viking, or whatever. You sort of nail down what period you want. Then the first thing that you can do is do a Google search on, let's say you live in Canada. You do a quick Google search, and you can actually start very broad. So, for instance, Viking. If you do a Google search of Viking reenactment North America, you'll probably come up with the three biggest groups in North America, and that's Jomsborg. They're a sort of a worldwide entity. Vikings North America, which used to be a subsidiary of Vikings UK, but I believe they went independent. And I think they're fairly regional, but I could be wrong. And then the last one is Vikings Vinland, which is the parent organization of the group that I'm with, that's also a subsidiary of the Vikings UK. So you'll find those ones. Then you can find lists of groups around, and you might actually find one in your area. If you don't find one, or if you find one in your area, cool, contact them, go out to the practices, and have fun. From there, they can sort of direct you what you need to do. If you don't find one in your area, contact the one that's closest, and then see if you can arrange a time that you go see them and whatever, and maybe they can sort of direct you in the right direction for different things. If there's not one that's close enough, there is absolutely no harm in you creating your own group. Contact them, figure out, their fight system, or pick their brain about crafting and stuff, and get in contact with people that way. Because, getting started in it that's the hard part. And I know that all of those groups are looking for new chapters in areas that don't already have chapters. So in Ontario, I think there's only one group in Vikings Vinland, and it's in the Toronto area. And I see that there is a gap in southwestern Ontario and northern Ontario, because Ontario is huge. So there's sort of a gap there, and there could indeed be groups that form there. You just need the people that are to form those groups just need to get maybe 3, 5, 10 guys together, 10 people together, and just form a group, making sure to use the systems that the parent organization that you're aiming to be a part of use, so that you're not off in the weeds, and then when it comes time for you to join up with a bigger group, which opens more doors, then you're not having to totally reinvent your group. Or you can just start up a group independently. If you start up a group independently, then it doesn't really matter. You can sort of do whatever you want, and then it's just a matter of knowing what is right and wrong and doing a lot of research. Whereas if you're aiming to be a member of another group, you can use their pre-existing research to sort of base all your stuff on. So they can tell you what's right and wrong. They can tell you the proper way to fight with their system, so that it's safe. And you can also then go to events with other groups, and everybody's fighting on the same level. And so from there, it's sort of, if you start your own group, then you'll have to train a bunch, get up to the level with your kit and everything. And then you'll have to, I don't know the exact process of selecting groups, to be perfectly honest. It just hasn't been something that I've really looked into. But I believe that you have to be trained by the trainers for the society. So you'll have to call somebody in and then get the money together to pay for them to come in and everything, and get trained up, so that everybody is legit with the society and everything, and you apply for membership through the society and everything. And so it is possible to create your own group if you really, really need to. Because if there's absolutely no one in your area that does it, then there's no sense in traveling a huge distance to get to a group all the time. It does make sense to travel to a group every once in a while just to get fresh input on things. And another thing that will help you is Facebook. Facebook is a great, great, great resource for connecting people. There are tons and tons of resources for reenactment on Facebook, and I think I'm a member of like 15 groups that have to do with HEMA, HMB, reenactment, armor making, all this stuff. And I know like Vikings Vinland has a page, Vikings UK has a page. All of these different groups have pages because they need to connect a large number of people, both members and people who wish to become future members. So it's a very, very good way to connect with people and make sure that you're on the right track, both if you're a fighter or if you're a crafter, or just creating your kit and making sure that what you have will work with those groups. It's all there, all the resources and everything. And I know, like, for instance, if you're really, really, really passionate about the American Civil War and you're located in, let's say, Germany, there might not be as big of a following for that as it would be in North America. So it might be kind of hard, but you might be able to find people around that way, and through Facebook as well. Those groups, anybody can join worldwide, so you might be able to find somebody that way. And so using the power of the internet to your advantage. And I assume that the people that are watching these videos will know already just the power of the internet, because you're on YouTube and you're watching some crazy guy talk about how to get involved in reenactment. So it's a good thing. So it's just using the internet to your advantage. And so even if you're starting a group from scratch, you can use the internet as well, and use the information available from other groups and museums, and just academics. It's all there. Even if you don't have access to books, it's very easy for people these days to get access to the internet. If you can't, then books are good as well, if you can find a library or anything to get a hold of them. I'm lucky here that the Toronto Public Library System, they have, it's called the Toronto Reference Library, and they basically have thousands and thousands of books. As well, they have a bunch that aren't on the shelves. That's where they keep the reference stacks. So you can find all these rare books that people have donated available for you to look through. And the amount of knowledge that's there is immense. And sometimes it's very good to use a book instead of an internet resource, because books have to go through an editorial process, whereas a lot of web pages don't. And keep in mind always that when you're looking at a source, be it a book or a website, that all of it is properly sourced. So if you're reading an article about some archaeological find, but they don't link you to anything from a university or anything like that, it might be a little bit. I'd be a little bit skeptical on that article or any information that they're saying. So then you would have to go look for another source that is either from a university or from a museum, or something that totally backs it up with sources and everything. So same goes for everything. So basically, in getting started in reenactment is a balance of who you know and what you know. It helps to know people who are already involved, and those people are there. They're willing to talk. A lot of them are on different forums and on Facebook. So it's just a matter of finding them. And being able to quickly search on Facebook and everything is a very, very big help. And just contact a group and see what they say, see what their system is. You can contact any of the major governing bodies of any type of reenactment. Contact them. They may point you to a group that's in your area. If they can't point you to a group that's in your area, then you can ask them how you can create your own group under their umbrella. So it's just sort of getting the word out there that you're trying to start a group, getting a few people together, and having fun. So beyond that, these days I don't think getting involved in reenactment could be any easier. It's all on the internet, and all of these people are willing to share what they know and get people just as passionate about their time period and their reenactment as they are. Because the more people that are involved, the bigger and better it becomes. So I hope this video has helped people. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, don't hesitate to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And thank you very much. The next video that I am going to do will be reviewing this crazy piece of garb. It seems to be the first wool kirtle that many reenactors get. It's made by Windlass. And yeah, it definitely needs work to make it at all legit. So, thank you for watching.